Good morning. This is Mariposa County here for the Restaurant Guideline Business Meeting in our transition from Stage 2 to Stage 2.5. Today we have some information to cover with you. We will be recording this for future reference in case any of your peers or partners out there didn't get a chance to see it. It'll be available on the Mariposa County website for future review. So I'd like to welcome you all this morning. My name is Joe Lynch. I'm the Division Director of Administrative Services for Mariposa County Health and Human Services. And with me today, I have Christina Allen, who's our Advanced Planning Lead through the COVID event. She currently is the Director of our Department Operations Center. She's here to talk about attestation with the state. And also Carrie Gibbons, who's our Health Inspector, who's here to talk about the checklist and planning that goes from taking our businesses from stage 2.0 or phase 2.0 to 2.5. So what I wanted to do is get started with an agenda and just give some ground rules. You can either ask questions directly to the JIC, the Joint Information Center, or you could put it in the chat. You can see the little dialogue box. We will answer all questions at the end. So no matter how many questions you have, we'll take the time at the end to answer anything that you might have to give you more detail as we go through. So with that, here is the agenda. And I'll be covering febrile respiratory illness after we talk about the opening requirements, just to give you a heads up of what that is and what we're requesting that you do as owners. With that, I will turn it over to Christina.
All right, good morning, everybody. So yes, yesterday we submitted first our attestation to the Board of Supervisors, had our meeting with them. They did give us a letter of support to submit to the state. So we submitted to the state yesterday afternoon with our attestation that we feel that we are safe and within the guidelines to move to 2.5 as a county. So we are awaiting their approval. We're anticipating that will happen today. We're hopeful that it will, but we do have to wait for that approval before we can move to phase 2.5. So we do ask that you stay put. Please don't open yet until we do get the final approval from the state at stage 2.5 can be implemented. The attestations are publicly available on CDPH's website. And once ours is approved, it will be posted there with the others. There are currently, I think, last we checked this morning, 7 that have been approved, 7 different counties, and they are submitted and publicly available on CDPH's website. So ours will be there as well, so you can feel free to view that. It is also on the Board of Supervisors website, county website as well. You can see what we presented to them yesterday too if you're interested in reading through that and what it means. But we do want to emphasize until we get that approval, we cannot have restaurants and other offices open quite yet. So we'll get that information to you as soon as we get it. We will push it out.
Great, thanks, Christina. Now we'll go to the process of how we open. And for that, I'll turn it over to Carrie to walk you through the steps that are required.
Okay, to begin with, if you have a restaurant that has been closed and not operating at all during this, we will have a link on our website for a self-inspection checklist. To go through your facility and complete the self-inspection checklist. We won't be collecting that. Just have it available if we need to see it during an inspection, but it's kind of a guide to lead you through all the areas you need to check. Then for operating on the website, there is the industry guidance for dine-in restaurants, and there's a link to that on our website, and that's an in-depth publication and guidelines on everything you'll need to follow in order to operate during this next phase. There's also a checklist, and that is a summarization of all the steps you'll need to meet in order to operate. I will highlight those pretty quickly. You can read those. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us. We're here to help you. The first is that you'll need to have a written specific plan for keeping your patrons safe, but also keeping your employees safe. We have a link to a document that you can use, a template for that. It is a fillable PDF, and that goes over the areas you'll need to address as far as cleaning and for your employee safety and making sure that they're healthy before they come to work. You'll need to train your employees, make sure that they know the symptoms for COVID-19, and Joe will go over the febrile illness respiratory protocols that they'll need to, and training to do before they come to work. Make sure your employees are healthy and that they do not report for working if they are not healthy. Also, cleaning and disinfection, that is going to be a big, a very big part of your new operations in this phase. You're going to be cleaning your high traffic areas, sanitizing high touch points, and then cleaning between seating and cleaning every item that would be potentially contacted between customers. So we have cleaning guidelines as part of that checklist, and then your physical distancing guidelines. And this is going to probably be a big lift for the restaurants. This is where you're going to be utilizing outdoor seating if you have it available, if it has already been approved by our department and is part of your operation and part of your permit guidelines that you have 6 feet between any of your parties, and if you can't meet that 6 foot distance between parties, you'll need to have a physical barrier. And that also, if people are waiting to eat, that they will be waiting in distances 6 feet apart. There's a limit to how many people can be in parties. You can seat family units together, but they need to be less than 10. And then also for physical distancing guidelines, your employees, your servers will need to be wearing masks if they can't meet the 6 foot distance separation. And so that is a new requirement from yesterday. So if you have any questions, please contact our office, and we have links to all of these on our website.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. I will tell you some of the popular questions that I'll answer is bars are not part of 2.5, only restaurants. So if you have a restaurant and a bar, the bar has to remain closed. However, you can serve alcoholic beverages to people that are in dining. As you see on the screen right now, if you take a peek, on the left it says industry guidance, dine-in restaurants. Yeah, that document is not a checklist. It's actually a really strong guidance, and it gives very clear direction around what constitutes alcoholic serving, what constitutes restaurants. So really advocate for you to read that one thoroughly. The document that you see on the right, these are just snapshots of them, is the checklist for dining in for restaurants. I will tell you, there is no final sign-off from the county. When you complete that checklist, you're doing a self-attestation that your business is ready to be opened. I would just ask that it's available for review if we come in or somebody comes in, because it is public knowledge that we're doing this in all areas, so people may ask.
The signs.
Yeah.
We have signs. You'll need to post signs on the outside of the at the entrance of your restaurant, and this shows your customers what you're doing to protect them and their health, and also what you're doing for your employees to protect them. Yeah, so
the signs are required. So you'll have, it's basically 3 steps, and I'll summarize those for you before going on febrile respiratory illnesses. Yeah, please do your self-inspection if you've not been open, so that you get yourself back up to normal operating procedures. The second is complete the CDPH checklist that's on our county website to self-attest that you're ready to be open. And the third is place your posters in a visible location, hopefully on your door. But if you don't have something that you're able to put there, just make it visible to both the customers and your staff. And then the final is, final thing I want to talk about before we take questions is the febrile respiratory illness screening is do you have a temperature? Do you have a fever? Do you have chills? Have you been around anyone that's had COVID? The county uses a automated system. We would like to push that out to restaurants. We will make one that will actually have, instead of saying your department, that would be us in Health and Human Services or the police, is to have what's your building name, our goal, or restaurant name. Our goal is to identify if we start to have symptomatic issues in locations like clusters. That allows us to respond more rapidly from a public health standpoint. It is not a big brother. It's not an attempt to shut restaurants down. It's simply to gather information as quickly as possible so that we can address any situations that we might have. The reason why this is essential is part of going to 2.5 is we're allowed one of the steps that we have to meet is we're only allowed one case per 10,000 citizens, and you know Mariposa, we're not a huge county, so that's 1.8 cases. Once we exceed 1.8 cases in a 14-day window, we could be required to toggle back to 2.0, which would cause us to have to close restaurants down or businesses down, depending on the public health officer's review of that. So I would just ask that as much as you can ask, if you need us to come in or the county to come in to help you problem solve how to meet the checklist or meet the guidelines so that you can open, please reach out. You can reach out to myself. We'll give some contact information to Carrie or to the county as you have in the past. We'll do everything we can to help you be prepared. But ask as many questions as you have. We're really trying to make sure that we as the county move forward together so that we can not only open our restaurants and our retail and our offices, but more after that, but primarily to keep everyone safe. So with that, I will go to questions. So you can either ask a question, I know it's difficult on telephone, or type it into a chat and we'll answer it for you. And if you don't have the question today, feel free to just send it to us at any point, and we will make sure that we answer it and put it out for everyone to see.
Remember, you can ask questions on the chat or unmute yourself and ask questions that way as well. And also the call center number for information is 209-259-1332. So feel free to call that with any questions you may have after this is through. And also the information email address is mariposacovid19@gmail.com.
Well, I appreciate it. Oh, I do. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Jonathan with the Yosemite Mariposa County Tourism Bureau. I'd like to ask if you can email the information to info@yosemite.com, and we can put that in our next week's email to all lodging and businesses that we have connections to, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, our goal through the Joint Information Center is to ensure that we have a really good availability to all the checklists. That our county website will always have the most current information. So check back frequently, because as we've seen as this COVID event has gone on, there's adjustments consistently. So we will always have the most up-to-date information there. But we also want to make sure that the partners know where we're at. So as soon as we find out that CDPH approves our attestation for the county, and then we officially move into phase 2.5, we will make sure that everyone is notified immediately so that you can start moving into a adjusted opening. So again, thank you. Unless there's any more questions, let me look real quick. I don't see any. Thank you for your time today. This, like I said, this presentation will be available for view in the future. And again, if you have any peers or partners that weren't able to attend, please send them that way. And we appreciate your time. Thank you.